Hello everyone, today what we're doing is setting up the time and date on several audio recorders. Now this video is going to apply to actually a couple of different audio recorders because the process to set the time and date on these is identical. So it's going to be for the black USB, the Pro USB flash drive audio recorder voice activated, the 19-hour spy pen, as well as the power bank. Now, as I said, the setup process for these are identical. So the first step here is to make sure that the audio recorder is currently not recording. So turn the audio recording off if it is, and then go ahead and plug it into your computer. Okay, so you can tell by the message that appeared at the bottom right of my screen, and then I clicked on it and it brought open this window. And what we want to do is we want to click on the open folder to view files. Now I'm using Windows 10, 64-bit professional edition. If you're using Windows 10, your experience will be identical to this one. However, if you are using Windows 7 or anything older, or even Windows 8 or 8.1, the process will be a little bit different, but they're pretty much all very similar. So if you can follow along with this, you should be able to get all your questions answered. So when I clicked on open folder to view files, this is the actual memory of the device itself. This allows me to not only, click on it and see this is a file, this is a test file that I made. And you can actually see the time and date is incorrect straight out of the box. It thinks that it's tomorrow at 4:30 a.m. So this was just a sample just to show you guys that it is not correct out of the box most times. So that's why this process is required. And then this is the actual root directory of the flash drive itself. Now I'm using this video, or the product that I'm going to be setting up on is this one here. But like I said, the process is the same across all devices. So if this does not pop up for you automatically, don't worry. There's a couple of ways you can get around it. If I close out of that to show you, you go down here to the bottom left where your start menu is. And if you left click on it, and then you can click on where it says documents here. You can get to it a couple of different ways, but pretty much just if you click on documents, it'll bring you to here, and then you're able to just click on your memo queue down there. There's a couple different ways. You can also go down here and type in this PC, and that'll bring up this window as well. So, and then it's this the memo queue right here. Okay, so now that you navigated to the actual root directory of the memory on your recorder itself, let's go ahead and you need to actually download a time setup file. So what you do is go to our website, and I'll actually go to the home page here. So click on audio recorders, and then find your device. I'm using the black USB. Scroll down, and if you go, there's going to be two tabs here, description and support. Click on support, and then the very top file here is called date and time setup file for Windows. Left click on it, and just to show you, like I said, this video applies to the pen. There's the file for that one, as well as the power bank. It's the same file for all three. So if you download any one of them, it'll work on all three devices. So now that I've gotten that downloaded rather, go ahead and find it in your downloads folder. If you right click on it, you have two options. You can either cut it or copy it. I'm going to go ahead and cut it because I want to move it out of my downloads folder. Copying it would leave it here. I don't want to do that personally. I want to remove it there. So go ahead and exit out of that and go back to your root directory on your memory. You know it's the root directory because it's the very first area that opens up when you actually double click on the device. And then you're going to want to right click and paste the file here, and it should look exactly like this. You don't want it inside of the voice folder or the version folder. You want it outside the folders in the root directory of memory. Okay, so now that it's there, go ahead and double click on it. That's double left click, and that'll execute it. I know this looks a little odd because I don't really know what's going on here with these symbols here, but essentially all it's going to do, you just click left click on start here. All it's going to do is it's going to create this date underscore time config file. And if you actually open this up, you don't have to do this, but I just want to show you what it does. If you actually open this up, all it is the date and time, right, in a notepad. So you got the year, the month, the day, the hour. This is military time, so it's 2:36 with 34 seconds going. Now, what we want to do is we want to actually unplug the recorder and immediately start a recording. Because if this file does not keep up with the time and date, so like right now, it is already 2:37 and 12 seconds. This file still thinks it's a minute ago. So whenever you start a recording, it's going to imprint the time and date that's on this file, not what's actually, it doesn't keep up with it basically until you actually start a recording. So I'm going to actually start over because I want it to be as accurate as possible. So go ahead and open the program, click start. It creates the file, and then immediately unplug it from your computer and start a recording. Okay, so now that the recorder's plugged back into my computer, let me go ahead and find it and type in this PC and double click on the memo queue. And you'll notice actually that that notepad document that was here that had date_time config, it's gone. And that's normal. It's because it actually took the time and date that was on that on that file, and it actually imprinted it to the actual recorder. So what we want to do is click on voice, and now we have two recordings. So this was the one that I showed you originally that had the incorrect time and date on it, and then I went ahead and just recorded one just now, and that is the correct time and date. And then you can listen to it by either double clicking on it or going down here and hitting play.
This is a test recording just to see if the time and date is operating properly. Test.
See? So there we go. And then if you want to go ahead and delete a file, you can do that by right-clicking and going down to delete, or by left-clicking once, highlighting, and then hitting the delete key on your keyboard. And that will permanently delete any file. If I wanted to save this file in a different location for permanent storage, I can right-click on it and hit copy or cut. Cut is to move, copy is to literally duplicate. I could click on copy, and then I could move it to say, you wouldn't want to do this, but this is just as an example because this is within the same memory. Right click and paste, and now I have a copy of it here as well as here. Okay, that wraps it up. If you do have any more questions about how to set up time and date, or if you're running into any problems, do not hesitate to reach out to us. We're open Monday through Saturdays at 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's Central Standard Time. Our number is 1-800-292-7748.